folks, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ben and I'm a photographer and videographer based in North Wales. Slightly different angle today, if you're not new here. Basically, the office is a mess. May 2021 has been busier for me than the entirety of 2020. So, please excuse me. Today we're having a look at the Starlink Masonry Routing Kit. I filmed an unboxing of this. This is what's left of it. You might be able to tell from all the masonry dust on top of it. I've already used it. I have routed my Starlink cable from the dish through the external garage wall here, straight through 7 or 8 inches of breeze block, and I've got it all set up neatly on its own little shelf in the garage. So firstly, I'm going to show you what you get inside the box, and then past Ben is going to show you past Ben getting the cable through the wall and all set up in the garage. So first thing you see in the box is an instruction manual. I'm sure most of us could probably make do without an instruction manual for a drill bit set, but you never know. As with all Starlink's instructions, they are very simple, very clear to understand. They don't skip anything out at all, and you should have absolutely no trouble just through following these instructions. So first off, the smaller drill bit is 1/4 inch diameter. I've got a bit of tape on there for a later job, and you have roughly 9.5 inches of clearance from your drill. So this is basically used to drill a guide hole for the bigger drill bit, but also noticed how I've got 1 inch taped off right by there. It's also for these cable screws. I'll get back to those later. Now the main event is this bad boy. This is a 1 inch diameter masonry drill bit. Now I was a little worried when I first saw this because I didn't know if my drill would actually be able to house it. Luckily it did, it was no issue. But yeah, this is quite a hefty piece of kit. Now I think this is mainly aimed towards users in the US. You also get a 1 inch spade bit. This is really for wood, timber. We are actually sat in a timber garage right now, but it was the masonry that I wanted to drill through, so this is still as yet unused. But if you're living over in the US, I know a lot of houses over there, especially for people who are really going to benefit from the Starlink up in Alaska and the northern states. A lot of houses there are timber, which is why they also include this spade bit. Then we have this funny little thing. This is very simple and ingenious little thing that they've included. This is basically an 11 inch plastic stick with an Ethernet adapter on the end. So once you've drilled your hole, you can plug the end of your Ethernet cable straight into there and then feed the whole thing through the wall, and you'll have plenty to actually get hold of on the inside. Very good thinking. Then we get 2 black grommets. I've already used mine. These are to cover up the hole on either side of the wall, and along with those you get a tube of silicone paste. So this will help weather seal the hole that you've created. For the most part, these just clip very easily over the cable, and once they're on there they do actually slide quite freely. So if you're like me, you've done all the hard work getting the cable in, but you still need to actually place your Starlink elsewhere permanently, then you can pull the cable through to give yourself a bit more slack. And finally, as I mentioned, you get 5 wall plugs and 5 of these cable clips with the screws. So with these you'd drill a 1 inch guide hole with the 1/4 inch drill bit, get your wall plug into the hole and then pop the clip over your cable and screw it in. Very simple. So that's everything that you get in the box. Now let's have a look at the installation. Okay, so the hole is going sort of between that power outlet and this bracket, right down at the bottom. So in preparation, I've built this little shelf underneath my dad's garage shelf. So this is where my router is going to be living. I've gone with a TP-Link Archer something or other. It's a Wi-Fi 6 router. Loving it so far, it's been really good, and I actually still have access to all the Starlink data as well, which is cool. And then next to it I'll have the power brick, Starlink power brick, and I've got this power socket here as well. With the socket line, I think I might actually screw that underneath. There's plenty of space, a good few inches at the back, so that I can route cables and everything. And then from there, I'm going to be routing Ethernet under my door, as I was with my old setup from the 4G router, around the room, through the office, and onto the windowsill. Please do excuse the mess. But I also picked up a set of these, again, TP-Link Deco X20 units. These are Wi-Fi 6 again, and I've basically covered the whole house, which is quite a feat. So yeah, this isn't really the typical house setup here in the UK. It covers quite an area because it's a bungalow rather than a 2-storey house. So it's probably about the same sort of footage as a 3 or 4 bedroom 2-storey house, but it's a lot more spread out. But so far, these TP-Link X20s, they have been working very well. Everyone's been connected to it. We've only had 2 outages, I think, in the last fortnight or so through Starlink rather than TP-Link. And yeah, it's going very well. So we've had a look at the Masonry Routing Kit. Now it's time to get drilling. I wish this pole wasn't there. So that's how we drill through 7 inches of breeze block. So I'm done with the 1/4 inch now. I'll just tap that off, pop that back in. I'm just going to check inside, make sure the hole's where I want it. Yeah, that looks fine. So let's crack on with the 1-inch hole. I've never drilled a hole this big before. Right. That is quite a sizable hole. Just over halfway there for my calculations. Whew. There we go. Okay, so next job is to actually feed the cable through the wall, for which in the kit you get this nice little Ethernet adapter, and it's just a routing fishing pole sort of thing, which is a very good idea. So yeah, I need to disconnect everything first, I need to stow the dish, and then once I've sorted the cable out, I'll plug it in, it'll just reconnect. So I'll have a coffee first, I think. Okay, so we've routed the cable through, which means we can take our little routing tool off. Very handy piece of kit that is. So now we need to get our Starlink power brick in here on the shelf so we can plug it in. So there it is. So power in here. This is not yet switched on, so we'll get all the cable down the back, power cable in, like so. I've not yet screwed the adapter in or anything, just because I want to get my cables in place. I need to get a visual reference before I actually start permanently fixing stuff. So, Starlink cable, I've probably got about 80 foot of the 100 foot cable in the garage now, so we'll plug that in as well. Go up around the back into the black one. I just saw a little bit of dust pop off there, so it's probably an idea to dust it off a little bit. Okay, so then we can plug the Starlink into the power brick and into the WAN port on the router. This is the original Starlink cable. I don't strictly need this one because I don't need the power over Ethernet to power the router, but keep it all together. And then this is 9 meters of Cat6 Ethernet cable, which I'm hoping is long enough. Stupidly, I didn't actually measure, I just guessed how long I need it to be to get to the TP-Link deco on the windowsill. But we'll give it a go. So again, this can go under at the back. This can plug into any of the LAN ports, as long as it's the right way around. There we go. See how far we get. Okay, so I've not yet cable managed anything, but I have got this Ethernet plugged into the deco unit on the windowsill. I may need to get a slightly longer cable. I've not done it around the perimeter of the room yet, so we'll see. But we're going to power this on. Hopefully you should see the light for the Starlink dish, the black one, switch on. The white one won't switch on because the router has its own power. So let's give it a go. Okay, so we have power to the dish. Let's see if it's switching on. This can take a minute or two, but best be patient. There we go. She's alive. Okay, so we also need to switch our router on, which is just at the back here. There we go. That'll take a minute to set itself up as well, and then we will switch our deco back on. And hopefully this should all start to work. Honestly, these deco units are ace. They're so good. They're expensive, but you're only ever going to need to buy it once and then you're set for years probably. Yeah, I'm dead happy with it so far. Right, so far the router is saying got power, Wi-Fi is working, as is the whether it's called the directional beams. No internet just yet, but we do have our LAN device connected, which is the deco unit. Hopefully that internet light should turn green any second. There we go, we are connected to the internet. We're saying so in the app as well. So let's go do a quick little speed test just to make sure. I'm not expecting amazing speeds right off the bat. Oh, there we go, that's not too shabby. So yeah, it's all definitely working. This is connected through the deco unit as well. So that means the whole house should be online, which is ace. Not amazing upload, but there we go. I've just plugged it in, so it's probably still working on it. Awesome. Okay, so pretty much finished inside. What we're going to do next is add the grommets either side of the hole. These little black things here. So I have tested already. They do actually allow the cable to slide quite freely. So once I actually, hopefully in the next week, get the dish roof mounted, then I should be able to pull a bit of cable out quite easily to give myself a bit of slack. I'm not going to screw the cable ties, cable holders into the wall just yet, just because they are quite tight around the cable and I've still got work to do. So we're going to seal over the holes, but we're going to let it loose out of the hole for now. Okay, so I hope you can hear me. It's a little bit windy. What I'm going to do is actually pop this onto the cable to start with, like so. It does feel a bit tight, but it will go. And then, as you can see, it does quite freely move around over the cable. So, according to the SpaceX instructions, or Starlink instructions, this is the silicone sealant that you get with it. Just like a tube of hand cream or anything, you just pop the cap using the lid, and you can see it coming out there. So we're going to be fairly generous. I'm going to pull a bit of cable out to start with. Let's give us some room to work with. I'm going to apply it directly to the breeze block. I can barely see a thing from there. So we want a solid, continuous circle around the hole that we've made. This is a very awkward angle to try and get to it, but that should do it. And then we're going to just slide the grommet into the hole and then push it in place. I'll do the one on the inside next, and then that is pretty much the job done. So like I said, I'm not going to drill in with the cable holding screws just yet, just because I've still got work to do. I still need to get the dish up on the roof with the ridgeline mount, so I still want to have some slack. With these grommets it's fine, it does come through nice and easy, but with the screw holders they are very tight fitting, so I'll hold off on them for now. Okay, so there we go, that's the whole process from start to finish. I am still yet to actually mount the Starlink dish up on the roof. Hopefully we'll be getting that done tomorrow. But in terms of the Masonry Routing Kit, this is a very complete kit as far as I'm concerned. I've used everything in here except for the 1-inch spade bit because I just didn't need it. Everything seems really good quality, it's all held up so far, and the instructions couldn't really be much easier. And for someone like me, I'm living with my parents right now. I do have some of my own tools. My dad has quite a lot of tools, but he didn't have a couple of the things in here. So for the sake of £44 here in the UK, it is well worth buying, I'd say, if you need to do a similar job. So there we go. That is the whole process. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions at all about this kit or the process that I've gone through, please do leave a comment down below. I'll be sure to get back to you. Otherwise, if you want to see more Starlink content, I have already done a previous video, link up here, and I'll no doubt be doing more as well. So do please click subscribe if you want to see more like this. Otherwise, thank you again for watching. Be good, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.